We call in Creator Energy to assist us in dealing with the fullness of every day and the speed with which they move. We ask to be guided and protected always, for there is a pressure and much requirement for things to be attended to. We can rest in knowing you have our backs, that we are able and capable of facing whatever comes. Sometimes more patience is required. Sometimes muscling through a difficult situation is what is necessary. Going with the flow without knowing the destination, result, or outcome can actually be freeing if we practice the phrase, let go and let God. Above all, let us express gratitude for the presence of one another as we stand firm in our I am. All of us here are here for a reason. So let us just say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hello. I was deceived until I was 75, 2013. MK Ultra Munch. MK Ultra was a mind control book written by a Belgium guy, 1947, and the CIA bought it and implemented it starting in 1947. They were bringing Nazi mind control to us. They liked a lot of the things that the Nazi government had done. So they brought a bunch of it over here. Operation Paperclip was one of them. And those children from Paperclip and grandchildren from Paperclip, a bunch of them are Nazis. That's just how it is. I believe that a great deal of the medicine today, such as gain of function, Fauci, is from the Joseph Mengele School of Medicine. Mind control started with Harry Truman's administration, then went through Dwight David Eisenhower's administration, 8 years, and then Eisenhower told Kennedy to be careful. And it was probably the CIA and others that killed Kennedy. He made a lot of enemies. Mind control. I didn't get over cognitive dissonance until I was 75. It's a disease, you know. I had voted for every president in every election from 1960 to 2016, and I had never voted for the president. I voted for Ross Perot twice. I voted for 45, but not for 46 or 47. I agree with Mike in the Yamhill jail. It's difficult when everything you know is a lie. Fruit from the poisonous tree. I can see how the sheriffs and the deputies could be hoodwinked. I was hoodwinked till I was 75. The Navy tested me when I was 18, and I was pretty smart. I cannot fathom how the legislature would dishonor themselves and break their oath for Kate and Tina, January 21st, 2021. Only 1 out of 90 kept his word, kept his honor, opened the door for us. Thank you, Mike Neerman. The rest of them, all the other 89, voted to throw him out of their club. He was the only honorable one that wouldn't break his oath, so they threw him out. Yeah, I can see how the sheriffs and the deputies were hoodwinked. I was. But I can't see how the legislature was. The judiciary of today did not provide us with Article 7 amended. That was done in 1910. The judiciary of today, the judges or administrative hearing officers, or whatever they actually are that are operating the courts, they're illegitimate, illegal color of law, and has been since 1910. I don't know how they did it, or what they did, or how it was all done, but they got Article 7 amended into the Constitution illegally, illegitimately, and it's de facto. Do you know how to make a fact? You make a fact by making an affidavit of truth, telling the truth, and having two witnesses, then providing everybody that needs to know that truth, that could rebut it or could assist you. You provide them with that information, with proof of service. And then 30 days later, if they acquiesce and default, what you say is a fact. And you can take that fact and use it. And what we have done on Oregon are all facts. We stand with status in the jurisdiction of a man and a woman, with our progeny, if we're fortunate enough to have kids, on the soil and land, flesh to earth. That's original jurisdiction. That's as close as you can get to jura summa imperii. On the land and soil without a ruler and without a subject. Sovereign. The only nation that has a constitution that makes the people sovereign over the state. The only time it's ever been done, written up and done. And they made it happen. However poorly or however greatly they made it happen. From around 1770 on through all the provenance documents until March 1861. That's when the coup happened. Let's see. People do not traffic. People travel. It's mindset. It's known as jura summa imperii, a state of being that is assumed with honor. We are seeking remedy. I cannot be in a correct state of being, nor can anybody else, until the force multiplier of Oregon's social compact with honor becomes a fact. Not color of law, not de facto, incorporated deception of the Oregon State Bar members, not that, but the actual law. What we know to be true. The deception is past. We know what law is. Maybe you don't know what law is. Law is the United States of America's Constitution circa 1859 and Oregon's Constitution circa 1859 with Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, 2-volume, 1856 for definitions. That's law. Then, any legitimate statutes at large and any legitimate treaties, they also are law. This deception and deprivation of jure being caused by the de facto is fraud. We are being deceived. And as long as you're deceived, you're ignorant. When you're no longer being deceived, you're being defrauded. And that's a fact. There is law in Article 7 as it was originally written. When it is contrary to that, then it does not fit. In Article 3, one Supreme Court claiming original jurisdiction, where you have to go to find remedy if you're a man or a woman on the land and soil. There is Amendment 7 that goes with Article 3, and it also goes with Article 7 in original jurisdiction. Amendment 7, the correction in suits in common law and equity when the value exceeds $20. It is a jury of 12 peers that decide the facts, and it is a court that judges the law. When a man or a woman finds remedy against the state, it's the only court we have where you can do that. We know the entire Article 7 amended is without support. There is no support for it. There are only lies. It has been lied to us for 115 years. It's color law. We have to stop that. No more incorporated deception from the Oregon State Bar members. The deception is past. It's over. We know what law is, and we know what the ORS is, and we know what's being ignored and enforced for the benefit of a few. And the sheriffs know it too, and it has to stop. This is the cost and the deprivation of jure, that which is honest and legitimate. And it's being caused by the de facto. It's fraud. That is a fact. When it is contrary to the constitutions, it is a nullity. You cannot make a law that infringes upon my inalienable rights. And if you do, it's a nullity. Just like when the legislature met and broke their oath, everything they've done since is a nullity. They have no authority. And you can't keep treating people that have no honor like they have authority. And that's a fact also. As is implementing Ex parte Milligan. Ex parte Milligan is extremely important. There's only one state out of all the states and territories that has implemented Ex parte Milligan. That's Oregon. Our court is the only legitimate Article 3, Amendment 7, Article 7, Civilian, Common Law, and Equity Court of Record. We went to the trouble to read all of the books, to do the research, and implement every step necessary to do it. And it's all signed, sealed, stamped, witnessed, proof of service, and published. Published on YouTube, published on 3 TV channels on cable in Portland. It's on Brighteon, and it's on our website. The deception is past. There is Amendment 7. In suits in common law and equity, when the value exceeds $20, then a jury of 12 peers decides the facts. When a man that goes against the state, the only court that can provide remedy is Article 3. And it has to have ex parte Milligan implemented. You got to do the work. Only you can do it. Nobody can do it for you. And you can't stand alone and do it. We have to do it. We have established the facts about the executive, legislative, and judiciary for the state of Oregon, aka all cap state of Oregon. They have no honor, as they have broken their oaths and are unfit for positions of trust by name. And that's a fact. We are in a limbo, for a word, with our sheriffs. In original jurisdiction, we are the provisional government on Oregon. All the rest are bogus. And that too is a fact. We have 36 men and women occupying the offices of sheriff, knowing that they are in dishonor as they stand without the protection of a proper oath to the proper constitutions, circa 1859, as defined by Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, and the laws of nature and nature's God. We have a legitimate opportunity for a do-over and to act in honor. Whatever has come before, you didn't do it, I didn't do it, we need to stop doing it. We need to act in honor. The deceptions are known, and the cusp is here. Caprice is on the line right now, as is Washington County's trial court administrator, district attorney, recorder, and the county court system. Our courts document, OSJA, Article 3, our documents are shown as evidence in the provenance of the deed of 14725, my home. The probate department for Washington County must comply with law. The offices of sheriff, trial court administrator, judges, DA, and attorneys must comply with law. They can, and there cannot be violations of our unalienable rights, neither of yours as sheriff and deputy, nor of mine as one of the people. We move into honor together. We cannot move into honor until we do it. You can't be in honor until you have done the work. You must take the actual action. In the case of the sheriff, it is a court that judges the law and juries that decide the facts. In suits of man against the state, when the value exceeds $20. And I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, to shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.